With Rin and Shido butting heads and showing not a shred of chemistry between themselves, Team A is right on the brink of losing. Having struggled throughout the whole match thus far, not knowing how he could make himself useful and cement his value in his team, Isagi finally understands what he has to do. Become a link between Rin and Shido. With this newfound strategy, can Isagi finally make an impact in the game? And can he do so in time before his team and hopes are eliminated? We find out that and more in Episode 3 of Blue Lock Season 2. Having been the very best of the best by playing soccer just to score goals for themselves, Rin and Shido clash together instead of cooperating and linking their games. Not having any options, Isagi decides to go with it after all. The whistle sounds and play resumes. Rin tries to redo his previous back-and-forth play with Hiyori again, but Otoya is not too keen to let that happen and blocks off Hiyori's pass to Rin. That's when Isagi calls out to Hiyori for the pass. But Karasu won't just let that happen and cover Isagi. As Isagi struggles to lose Karasu, Nanase pounces forth. Knowing he can't possibly match with the Rin and Shido, Nanase analyzes Isagi's movements to support Rin. Believing that something could be made from this play, Isagi slips away from Karasu, avoiding his specialist hands, and onto the receiving end of the through pass from Nanase. Sensing a goal at hand, Isagi thinks about where to take this play. Not seeing an easy shot at the goal from the spot, with Chigiri in the way on top of that, Isagi thinks about passing it to Rin. But Otoya sees this immediately and gets in front of Rin to prevent that. At the same time, Shido calls Isagi asking for a pass. Thinking of it as a simple 1-2 play from Shido, solving his Chigiri problem with it too, Isagi passes to Shido expecting a pass back, which would result in his goal. But the number 2 of Blue Lock, having a different plan in his mind, pivots right at the spot by leveraging from the Team B defender present there, and fires a spinning banana shot from that position, leaving everyone stunned. As Shido declares himself the strongest in the box, Isagi wonders why he even thought he would be getting a pass from that ball hog in the first place, while also realizing potential new playing styles now that Nanase is on the same page as him. Play resumes again, and Karasu finally starts seeing Isagi as a threat. Thinking about crushing Isagi before he becomes lethal, Karasu starts dashing towards him. Rin comes to Isagi's help, kinda, because he then tells Karasu to come at him, leaving the dead body Isagi alone. Taking the bait, Karasu and Rin face off. As Karasu tries to get past Rin by assessing the distance with his hand, Rin deflects it by lifting his elbow. Not seeing any way of getting past Rin, Karasu thinks about passing it to Otoya, whom he could see in his field vision up ahead. As Karasu steps back to position himself for it, Isagi slides in out of nowhere, completely catching him off guard.
Oh my!
And steals the ball from Karasu. With Hiyori and Nanase reading his movements, Isagi plans to dominate the midfield with this trio. Pursuing the counter at full throttle, the three move forward, passing it amongst themselves. Hiyori meets Chigiri on his way, forcing him to make a pass there. Predicting that Hiyori would pass to Shido, who would move in towards him for it, Isagi figures out the area where he needs to be. The area which Shido would be leaving behind, the area right in front of the goal that will allow him to both score and subjugate Shido simultaneously. Seeing Isagi's plan, Hiyori delivers a beautiful pass over Shido to Isagi. Finally about to realize his moment that he had waited for the entire match, Isagi leaps to collect the pass, but he falls short just by a few centimeters. His physical capabilities had failed him. Although keeping up mentally, Isagi could not compete with those around him physically, and the realization crushes him. The ball lands in a free area, and Otoya wastes no time clearing it. It's a loose ball, and both Rin and Karasu charge towards it. But Rin is able to keep Karasu at bay by grabbing him and getting a clean hit on the ball. Rin makes the score level. Isagi had breathed a new life into Team A, and Karasu doesn't like that too much. While they were able to coexist better, the deranged egomaniac side of Isagi still doesn't believe he was playing the soccer he wanted to play yet. Hiyori starts speaking to Isagi regarding the pass, which breaks Isagi out of his psychotic trance. Hiyori apologizes for not giving him a better pass, but Isagi tells him the pass was perfect. He just couldn't keep up with it. Hiyori then tells Isagi that perhaps he should stop seeing, thinking, and then acting on it, and instead just try sensing as he moves. Make thinking a reflex, because at this rate, he could never cut it because of his glaringly lacking physical abilities compared to his superior teammates. Isagi is left speechless at what he's hearing. Meanwhile, the whistle sounds and play resumes again. Karasu has the ball again, and not wanting to repeat what had earlier, he passes to Otoya right away this time. Otoya passes it back, and as Rin and Isagi try to press Karasu, Karasu shoots the ball straight ahead through the space Isagi left him. Chigiri dashes for it, and when it seems like no one could stop this goal from happening, a flying Shido collects it and shoots it back. Nanase receives it, and and him, Isagi, and Hiyori launch a counter. On the ball, Isagi wonders about what Hiyori had said to him earlier about thinking as a reflex when Karasu shows up to cover him. But Rin and Nanase follow suit, and the three initiate a triangle passing play to blast past Team B's defense. Isagi then passes it to Hiyori on the left wing, but Shigiri is right on his tail, bent on not letting him have his way. As the entirety of both teams charge towards Team B's goal, Isagi contemplates his move, the ideal place he needed to be to score. Realizing he was repeating his mistake of thinking first and acting later again, Isagi decides to stop thinking and feel it as he goes. Hiyori sends a cross, and as Rin and Shido prepare to pounce at it, Isagi leaps ahead in front of them, like a freight train, completing zoned in and smashing the ball into the top left corner of the goal to settle the match in his team's favor. As Isagi tries to process what just happened, an elated Nanase jumps on him, bringing them both to the ground, asking him how he did that. Isagi tells him he wasn't sure either since he just left himself to his senses and moved into the right place. As Nanase praises Asagi's brilliance, Isagi politely asks him if he could stop crushing him like a crate of eggs and get off. Shido comes up to them and praises Isagi too, while Mr. Too Proud to actually admit it, Rin complains to Isagi for stealing his goal, acknowledging him in his own way. Meanwhile, Ego calls what Isagi did stepping foot in the mechanism of a miracle. We fast forward a little bit and Team A's next match is against Team C, whose last player to be announced is Ryo. As Ryo looks on at the screen, thinking he finally made it to a place where he could play alongside Nagi again, on the other side of the top 6's waiting area, Mr. Four Eyes brings Nagi his jersey, telling him it's time. Overflowing with excitement for the match at hand, Nagi tells him, "Let's do this!" Blue lock additional time. Shigiri asks Otoya the all-important question. Is he actually a ninja descendant? Otoya confirms this and, upon Shigiri's request, shows him his ninja art. At the beginning, it looks like he's actually about to perform some cool ninja technique, but it's just a kabedon, aka the act of fiercely slapping the wall next to a woman to woo her. Karasu joins the two, interested in what they're talking about, but regrets it after Otoya uses him as a subject for his quote-unquote ninja moves. Stay connected, like and subscribe for more fun recaps on one and only Endless Recaps.